Welcome to the breakdown. I'm your host, Diane Rembert, avid reader, award winning literary blogger, and the founder of Diamonds Literary World, which is my footprint in the literary industry. I want to say happy holidays to all of you from me here at Diamonds World, Diamonds Literary World, the breakdown, all of that good stuff. I hope that you guys are enjoying your family, friends, loved ones. Just enjoy. Um, Today's book is A Christmas Kind of Love by Nikki Michelle and Kai Leaks. Now, I've read books before by Nikki Michelle. If you have not, please go and pick up a book by her. You will, I promise you, I don't think you've ever read anything like you read with her. She's a little different. And new author to me, Kai Leaks. I'm definitely going to be looking for more books by Kai Leaks because I don't know. I think I know what Nikki wrote, but then again, I'm not sure because I don't know how Kai writes. But let me tell you about A Christmas Kind of Love. It's a Sojourner Falls story. Well, this book is about a historical town, if you will. Um, it kind of reminds you of, as I was reading, it kind of reminded me of Little House on the Prairie, sort of, but more of a African American themed town, meaning the inn where people come. They had the farm that was, helping with the produce. They had one little hospital with one doctor. The airport was rather small. This is how the book opens up, describing this very small town with, again, this very, very rich history. And here we have a town. Um, I guess I want to call him. Um, he's a son of the town, if you will. Born and raised in Sojourner Falls. Um, Blade goes off to LA. He's a successful attorney, but he receives this letter from his brother Hunter telling him that he needs to come home because the town needs him. So he comes home one holiday to find out what's going on, only to find out that the town is in trouble. They're behind on taxes, and of course, industry, if you will, want to come and swallow them up. So now he's trying to figure out a way to save the town and to keep them afloat. But in the meantime, he meets this young lady named Grace, and this love blossoms between Blade and Grace. And I had to think about it for a minute because the names are so rich. That was one thing I wanted to mention to the authors of how rich the names were. And now Blade's brother, his name is Hunter. Again, another rich, strong name. He's the town physician. He runs the hospital. The brothers haven't spoken in a while because, Hunter's upset that Blade left and didn't come back home, because everybody leaves temporarily, but then they come back home in order to help the town. The town consists of, everybody knows everybody, and this is what they do. And so Grace is opening up the inn to Blade because Hunter technically, like they're not speaking, so he doesn't want him there. And a big argument ensues, or not really a big argument, but miscommunication, if you will. But then they come together, and like I said, this love begins to blossom right before your eyes in this beautiful love story. So as Blade is trying to figure out how to save the town and familiarizing himself again with the townspeople, as well as his family members, um, he's falling in love. Something he's never felt before. Grace is willing to fall in love, um, but then they have this misunderstanding, if you will. And instead of allowing communication to take place, again, this misunderstanding happens. But then, just when you think that everything is going awry, tragedy strikes in the town. And I don't want to tell you what it is because I want you to go and pick up the book for yourself. And the tragedy, it triggers something in Grace, and it allows Blade to experience something that he probably would have never experienced before or at any other time. So, and he believes that the ancestors brought him home in order to experience this, in order to appreciate the town. So I'm trying to give it to you guys without giving it to you, if you will. Just know that I got historical fiction from this book, and it was by accident that I put this hoodie on. Believe me when I tell you. I know this is Madam CJ, King, let's see, Malcolm, Dubois, Harriet, so it's not by I didn't plan this. This is something that I guess the ancestors said, what, this is the hoodie that you need to have on when you do this video. So again, there's historical fiction, gives you a lot of history. It talked about ancestors, and we don't know enough about how the ancestors speak to us. But you see it in this book. Also talks about love. There was something else that was also touched on in this book, which I knew was Nikki Michelle from the very beginning, and that was the relationship between her grandparents, the very unique relationship between her grandparents. They were three people living as one couple. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that, because again, I want you to go pick it up. And if you're not familiar with Nikki Michelle, you're going to be shocked. But if you are familiar with Nikki Michelle, you're going to say, I know exactly who wrote this part. So go and pick up A Christmas Kind of Love by Nikki Michelle and Kai Leaks. I will post the link in the comment section. I would love to hear from any one of you who is willing to tell me your thoughts on this book. If you go and pick it up, I want to know, were you as shocked as I was? Maybe not. Maybe a little. Nikki and Kai, part 2, supposed to be a Valentine's Day story. I'm waiting because I want to hear more about Hunter and Grace's cousin Carradade, I guess it is, Carrie. I want to know more about them. They were the supporting cast, if you will, but I definitely need to know a backstory on them, because they truly have a history. And what is the bitterness? I want to know. So again, thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you for taking time out of your day to support me. Also for subscribing to the channel. If you have not done so already, please take a moment to do that now, so that you can keep up with my videos. And in about 2 weeks or so, I'm going to be giving you my best of 2019, which is subject to change because, again, there are 2 weeks left in the month and 2 weeks left in the year. So that list is subject to change at any given time. I know it's constantly growing. So what it may have been like last week may not necessarily be what it ends up being in 2 weeks. I try to limit it to my top 10, but for some reason something always slips in and it ends up being like a top 12 or whatever. But stay tuned. Again, thank you guys so much. Please stay warm. Please stay safe. Happy holidays. Happy reading and be blessed.